Today is all about AMA. I asked you to ask me anything, and you did. So today I'm answering your questions because I've been out injured and I'm trying to heal up. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to get to know me a little better. Now the first question comes from Bobby V, which is, how did you hurt your ankle and is there video footage of it? Great question, Bobby. I actually hurt my ankle at Matco on the Transcend group ride. If you go back to last week's video, you can check it out. Now it comes across as super benign because it doesn't look like I really did anything. Hit the second rock feature on that trail, tipped over, but there was a bit of a downslope, and when I stepped down on that, my ankle rolled. Now I was so hyped and stoked about riding with everybody that day, I continued to ride, and I found out later I have what's called an avulsion. The ligament is pulling bone from bone. So I have a little bit of time off the bike while I heal up. And Bobby asked the second question, which is, how do you hook up with such amazing supporters for your channel? That's actually a really great question. The first channel supporter I got was Deity, and it's a little known fact, but if you go on Deity's website, every year they do a call out for fresh blood. So you can actually apply to be supported by Deity. Now all the supporters that came after that was from being very intentional by being part of the mountain biking community and being very consistent with the content that I create. And through that, I was able to develop a network of great people. And so some of my support came from people actually vouching for me or bringing my name up in certain circles within the mountain biking community, which allowed other people to reach out and offer to support the channel. So if you're looking for some kind of support for the content that you could create, I would just really encourage you to be super consistent with what you're doing and be super engaged in the community that you're in. Nick D knows is asking, if you could go back and change one thing, what would it be? Now normally I would say nothing because I don't want to shake up the current reality that I have that I absolutely love. But when I think about this, one of the things that comes to the front of my mind is I wish I was kinder to people back in high school. I was a real jerk to people and I bullied people. I made others feel small so that I can feel better about myself, and I'm always regretful about that. So I wish I would have known then what I know now, things about emotional intelligence, kindness, empathy, compassion. I wish I would have been a more empathetic and compassionate person in the past. MTB Moore asks, why do bears poop in the woods? 'Cause they gotta go, Brett. They gotta go. Teddy from Pigpen Photos is asking me, at what age did you learn it's okay to struggle? This is a really great question, Teddy, and I don't have a specific age that I think I learned this, but listen, struggling is so important. It's in the struggle that we actually grow and develop. I know we all want an easy ride and an easy life, but the thing is, it's those struggles that make us who we are and grows our resiliency and our grit. We're actually able to understand what we really want and what we're willing to do to get it, and what we're willing to go through to get it. Teddy goes on to say that the opposite of insecurity is simply allowing yourself to be insecure. Listen, when it comes to the idea of security or confidence, it's based on two things: what you believe you're good at and who you believe loves or likes you. And when you really break that down and you find yourself in situations where you might feel insecure, it might come down to one of those two things. Are people rooting for you and encouraging you, and are you skilled or competent at the thing that you have to do? Happily Ever Aher asks, what shows are you currently watching and what are your favorites? I actually just got into Peaky Blinders with my family and I love it. Now I'm only in season 3 and I know that season 6 is coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. Also watching Moon Knight. Love all the stuff that Marvel's been putting out, and I'm super stoked to get into Barry season 3. Loved Barry season 1 and 2, and if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Oside MTB H2O is asking, what do you get from mountain biking and what do you get from giving back to the mountain biking community? Larry, that's an awesome question. I think all of us in mountain biking get this spectacular sense of freedom, riding out on the trails, being able to breathe, exploring new things, going on adventures. I love all of that. More than that though, what I get from mountain biking is a great community. Man, I've said it on so many things, especially on Mark Hill's podcast, The Segment. There's just something so special happening right now on the SoCal scene and when it comes to mountain biking with this community. And I've just made so many great friendships and relationships and connections from it. Absolutely love it. My hope is that what I'm giving back is a sense to everybody who supports my channel, watches my content, that they are seen, heard, and valued. I do my absolute best to respond to every single comment that's given to me, respond to everybody on Instagram as I can, and if I see you out on the trails, I'm genuinely stoked to meet you. I understand that my channel would be nowhere without all of you. So beyond being out on the trails, I get a deep sense of connection from the MTB community. Frig Off is asking, who is the best barber you know? It's you, Colton. Look, if you want a fresh haircut, look up Golden Crown Barbershop in Laguna Niguel. Go over there, put your name on the list, request Colton. Not only will you get a dope haircut, you can talk about mountain bikes with him too. MTB Allen is asking, you have to choose one. Ride with no battery or ride with no underwear? No underwear. All day, Alan. All day. My wife Sarah is asking, who are you? What do you want? And what prevents you from having it? These are actually really great questions, and I know that she means this as a joke, but I love it. Who am I? I'm Adam Mock. What do I want? I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to help as many people as possible. I get what it's like not to have tools to live the life that you want, and I want to give those tools to as many people as I can. Now, what prevents me from doing that? Absolutely nothing but myself. So I try and be as intentional as possible, and she knows this, by waking up every day, and with every interaction I have, I do my best to make the most of it. I don't always succeed, but when I do, it feels awesome. Mike Savicki is asking, what brought you to start mountain biking? I actually think it was hiking. We got out here, we moved here from Illinois to California, so now we're on the West Coast. We actually have mountains and some dope trails. And my wife and I had been hiking, and I remember thinking to myself that I love that so much, but I also wish I could go further and explore more. But I'd have to say it was hiking and just simply exploring the outdoors and wanting more of it. Haley Bernstein wants to know more about the many hats I wear, the organizations I work with, and what steps I took to get to where I am. It's a really cool question. I've had the privilege to work with individuals, couples, families, and organizations like Nike, Jordan Brand, even schools. I love being able to work with anybody. Now, I'm a leadership coaching specialist, and what that means is the tools that I have been trained in help build more effective leaders. It simply means you know who you are, so you can magnify the best parts of yourself and simply be as effective as possible being you, leading and living your life at full choice. And I love being able to do that with people. Now, the steps that led me to get there was I've been a professional artist for over 2 decades now, and I've always loved art, but I've also believed in the Renaissance spirit. This idea that we're not a one-trick pony. We don't just have to do the one thing, the one job, or have the one hobby. We can do all of it if we want to, and we can be proficient in many things. So my interest started going into the idea of leadership, self-development, personal mastery, some people call it. And I had the privilege of meeting Dr. Douglas McKinley, a 30-year clinical psychologist and master coach who took me under his wing and taught me everything he knew. And because of him, I got certified with my LCS designation as a leadership coaching specialist. He openly and willingly just gave me his life's work in terms of his tools, his wisdom, his knowledge, and made time to pour into me. Not only is he a great mentor, he is a great friend who has forever changed my life. Haley's also asking what services I provide as a life coach and how you can refer me to someone who might be struggling and not looking for the traditional therapy route. I like to say that I rescue people's dreams so that they can transform their reality. Specifically, I get to assess people's emotional intelligence and how they communicate. I also have tools that allow you to understand what your core values are and what your chosen values might be, so you can get a deeper understanding of yourself. Many of us are going through life with this facade, living out a persona of other people's expectations and our comparisons to other people. I want you to be free of all of those things. In order to do that, it's important to know what you value so you can lead from your values and not how you feel all the time. And it's important to know how you prefer to communicate, what your personality is, and where you might be underdeveloped in your emotional intelligence so that you can strengthen it and maximize who you are. Now, if anybody has interest in this or wants to refer me, you can bounce over to adammock.com to get in touch with me. I do have a free consultation. I like to talk to every potential client first before agreeing to do any kind of work or sessions with somebody. I want to know that I can actually help somebody and that they're willing to do the work before we engage. So if you're interested in that, bounce over to adammock.com and you can drop me a line. The outsider Tony Da Silva asks, who is your daddy and what does he do? Well, my daddy's name is Arnold and he tells me he's a kindergarten teacher, but I don't think I believe him. Mark Hill from The Segment is asking me what is your favorite movie from the 80s. Now, although I enjoyed Kindergarten Cop, I'm gonna go with Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey. I still love watching that movie, and although it's cheesy, I absolutely love it. And there's a lot of highlights from the 80s. I did love The Goonies, The Princess Bride. Man, I'm a child of the 80s, so I kind of loved all of it. Dionyse OC, one of my channel supporters, is asking, what are your thoughts on the Linea 01 helmet now that you've had a chance to put it through its paces? I love this helmet, and if you're interested in it, check out the review I did on this helmet. It's lighter than the TLD stage helmet, and once you put it on, you're gonna start to wonder why you own a half shell when you can just wear this full face. It's super breathable and crazy light. Brian is asking, what is a good way to deal with anxiety? Now, I'm not a clinician, but I get asked this question a lot, and I do have a couple tools that might help. One is, when you find your anxiety spiking, you can simply ask yourself, what do I need to believe to feel better? Now think about that. It'll interrupt the negative thought and your brain goes into processing mode to try and figure out that answer. What do I need to believe to feel better? Now another tool you can use is what's called the ABCDE tool. It helps with cognitive restructuring. And in short, it's simply this. ABCDE helps guide you through the process. A stands for the activating event. Essentially, it's what's the trigger. You were fine and now you have anxiety. Something happened between that. That's the A, the activating event. B stands for the belief behind the event. Ask yourself, what do I believe about the event? For example, if you have texted someone and they haven't responded to you and your anxiety spikes, you might have a belief that they don't care, that they saw the text and that you're just not important enough for them to get back to. C stands for the consequences of that belief. What we think affects how we feel, which affects our behavior. So our beliefs have consequences to it. If we believe that somebody didn't text us back because we're not important enough, we might stop reaching out to them or trying to communicate with them because we think that they don't care. D is where all the hope comes from, and this stands for debate the belief. Essentially, you're going to take it to court and you're going to prosecute it. You're going to ask yourself, is that belief true? So in this example of the texting, maybe they didn't see your text. Maybe they did and they got busy right after looking at it, or a series of texts came through. This is where all the hope is, because it starts to allow you to explore other narratives, more healthy narratives, positive narratives for the activating event. And finally, E is just examine what changes now that you have debated the belief. Usually when you can talk yourself through it, you'll feel your anxiety start to lessen because you're giving yourself a healthier narrative. I encourage you to consult a professional if you struggle with anxiety. And finally, my friend Robert is asking, what is your favorite mountain biking memory? This is a hard one, man, because there's been so many great memories made on those trails with some awesome people. So I'm gonna say all of it. And I'm going to expand on it because there's something I'm really excited about that I can't wait to build memories on. And this also goes towards Brian's question about anxiety. So I'm giving you a heads up now. If you made it to the end of the video, save the date. Saturday, July 9th at Sky Park Bike Park. I am putting on an event with Mark Hill from The Segment, and it's called Ride and Shine. And the whole goal behind it is you can come and ride during the day with your favorite mountain biking crews and YouTubers. And then at 4 o'clock, we are going to illuminate stories of hope by shining a light on anxiety, depression, PTSD, and suicide from within our community. Now, I am so excited about this event, and we have been working very hard to get some of your favorite people and riding crews out there. And I can't wait not just for that time on the trails when we all get to laugh, connect, and have stoke, but for that time to shine a light on these problems and illuminate the importance of mental health. There will be resources available to help get you connected on and off the trails, and my greatest hope is that this event just might save a life. This was super fun. Thanks to all of you who participated in my first AMA Ask Me Anything. I actually think I want to do another one of these. So if you didn't get a chance to ask me a question, we'll have another opportunity. And if you can't wait, leave me a comment down below and I will do my best to answer your question there. I'm going to continue to heal up my ankle, but as always, I wish you nothing but peace and love. I almost forgot a question. Marcelo asks, hey Adam, what's your favorite place to ride? Hands down, Sky Park. Hope to see you there July 9th for Ride and Shine.
Say what you want, say what you will. I miss the ride that I knew. All of this heaven exploding above is a beautiful mess. It's beautiful.